Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Total Rome 2 online replay. Today we're looking at a 2v2 match between me and my friend, Chaataikhan on one side, and on the other side we have the Armenian King and Eastern Warlord. And this was a custom battle we played on Nemetisena. I was playing as the Nervii, my friend Chaatai was playing as the Arevaci. The Armenian King was playing as Massilia, and Eastern Warlord was playing as Sparta. Now we were just playing the standard tourney rules of like no artillery and 6 max of the same unit, which we all were faithful to, which was unexpected. Well, I mean, it should have been expected. My build, I brought 6 fierce swords, 2 naked warriors and 2 Oathsworn, 3 Celtic youths, 2 mercenary Germanic scout riders, 2 mighty horse, and 1 of those cavalry on each flank, and 2 levy freemen. My ally, he brought 4 Balearic slingers. I didn't actually see his build because I was busy marking mine. So it looks like 2 Scutari spearmen, 2 Iberian spearmen. Looks like 1 noble cavalry, 4 Celt-Iberian cavalry, and a bunch of painted warriors. Really wish it brought Scutari. And actually, you know what? Painted warriors don't look like they're that bad of units. I don't really play as the Arevaci much, so actually, they're not that bad of units. Obviously, there are no naked warriors or fierce swords, which fierce swords have low weapon damage for some reason. Not fierce swords, naked warriors have a low weapon damage for some reason. I don't know why. That's like almost a spear. Actually, you know what? To be fair, they do have bonus versus infantry. And my dog was just scratching his ear with his foot, and I think he like hurt his ear too much. Or I really hope you can hear my dog look at himself in the background, because he's being very good at being annoying. Right, Jake? Right, boy? Yeah, he's just looking at me like, stop talking. Alright, so now Eastern Warlord, he brought 3 Gorgos skirmishers, 4 Spartan youths, a Spartan hoplite on each, 4 Spartan hoplites, 1 on each flank and 2 of them in the center, 2 Royal Spartans, a hero of Sparta as his general, 2 periodically pikemen, and 2 citizen cav, and I believe 2 Tarentine cav. I'm not going to pause because things are about to start happening. The Armenian King brought 4 levy freemen, 2 Celtic warriors, 4 axe warriors, I believe, just 2 thorax swordsmen, 3 Massilian hoplites, and 3 Hippeus lancers. Now, I actually didn't really get to see what Chaataikhan actually did over here since I was busy with my side of the battle. However, his flank did break first. My flank actually didn't break at all, as I was able to cut through the Spartan army pretty good, because guys, do not underestimate the Nervii. Yes, they're no boyai with their sword followers who are awesome units, and they don't have tribal warriors, but don't underestimate fierce swords, because they will rip you apart. And especially if they bring, which they should, the Budo Gantis general, and they use force concentration, you can really just collapse the line. Now, one thing that Eastern Warlord did is he had all his Spartans up here, and I really think Cretan archers would have been a better choice. Actually, just archers in general. And the reason why I'm saying this is range units are very good against the Nervii. However, slingers, unless you're going to do it very quickly with focused fire on a specific unit, more higher damage of archers is going to be better for you. As you can see, Armenian King gets these Balearic slingers to pop a quick reload. None of them really get any kills, and he's just pulling back. Because that's what he wants them to do. He just wants them to waste that quick reload. Now this time he can't use it later. And it also makes his units more tired once that quick reload runs out. So very good play there on Armenian King. And you should really never pop quick reload unless you're already engaged in a fight and you know what you're focusing on. And over here, he used his 2 Tarentine cav to draw all of my cavalry away, which is pretty good. And my mercenary Germanic scout riders were getting hurt pretty bad by those Tarentines. Because I believe Tarentines are more defensive, I believe. Yes, they are more defensive in every single way. So as you can see, our main lines clash over here. Now I focus my Celtic youths. Oh, and my bad, guys. They're not Celtic skirmishers, they're Celtic youths. Right on his periodic white pikemen. Because I know that those pikes are going to hurt me bad if he brings them out. As you can see, my fierce swords are just ripping right through all of his units. Because he really didn't... He had his center of all of hoplites, Royal Spartans and Spartan hoplites, and that's good and all, but his flanks just collapsed almost immediately. Some of my fierce swords units didn't lose any men. As you see now, those periodic pikemen are starting to come into the fray. However, at this point, his flanks have just collapsed so completely that I'm just going to be able to completely surround him. And as you can see, fierce swords, if they get in a fight long enough, will kind of start to lose, which their lower armor does start to affect the battles. And over here, I'm not really paying attention to my cavalry as much as I should, because I was dealing with the citizen cav. He does get in the back of my Celtic youths. Over here, you see his painted warriors are not all fighting. Really needs to get the charge off of those, because that's a really big thing with barbarians, is you need that charge bonus, and they have some of these guys popped frenzy and they really didn't even use it. I chose not to pop frenzy, and I really don't like using it in the initial charge, because I really want my units to stay fresh, and frenzy makes your units so tired so quickly. Yeah, they're right to winded. It used to be where they went right to exhausted. And as you can see now, I'm just trying to wrap up the rest of these Spartans. And these heroes of Sparta lasted a long time. And I gotta say, sorry guys, if these heroes of Sparta didn't last as long as they did, this battle could have gone differently, because I would have possibly been able to reinforce the Arevaci over here while he was still fighting. I'm sorry guys, I don't feel sick. I would have been able to reinforce the Arevaci while he was still fighting. Or the way it ended up is I basically had to fight a still pretty fresh Massilian army. It did take a good amount of casualties. However, I just couldn't fight both armies by myself. See, I'm catching some of his go-go skirmishers with my fierce swords. My Levy Freeman over here. My Levy Freeman actually got a good amount of kills in. Both of my Levy Freeman units, I believe. Where's my other one? He says as he can't find the other one because it's probably routed. Yeah, I think it is. Oh well, whatever they did, they served their purpose. And my two mercenary Germanic scout riders over here, I think I sent them to throw some javelins in and then just get them to just get them out of the fight and just wait. Over here, those periodic pikemen are running away. These go-go skirmishers are now starting to get some kills. Now that these units are weakened a bit. Now, as you can see, these Spartan hoplites do not go down without a fight. They take a good amount of time to kill. And these heroes of Sparta, man, 48 melee attack, 105 armor, 82 melee defense. Jeez. These guys are tough. Now, you gotta see how much damage I put these guys through when they don't die. So over here you can see that his army is almost completely folded, and I tell him to start pulling his Balearic slingers back towards me. Because if I can get those Balearic slingers behind my fierce swords, they could make a huge difference in the battle. Especially versus these Massilian hoplites and these Celtic warriors. The thorax swordsmen and the axe warriors I'm not as worried about, because I know in a straight up fight my fierce swords are going to be able to win. However, I'm really worried about those Celtic warriors more with that 40 weapon damage and those Massilian hoplites, because those are still pretty good. Jeez, I'm sorry for that, guys. Only with my luck with recording. I mean, look at these guys, 74 kills and they're only at 50 men. And these guys only have 90 men in their unit to start with. Now over here, I'm going to use my Mighty Horse, they serve their purpose pretty well. Now I'm just going to try and use them to bait off some of his units, because if I can keep him cut in half like this, sorry, then I can more easily cut his army down the size. Now over you can see two of his Hippeis Lancers and some of his Celtic Warriors do catch his last Balearic Slinger and some of my Celtic youths. However, I know now that if I can get a good charge on those Hippeis Lancers, that can cause a lot of damage. And those Hippeis Lancer is 3, that one has 11. So their morale is not going to be doing very well. I pop Frenzy Charge because I really just want to knock them out as quickly as I can. And over here, the Hero of Sparta finally routed. And now I'm having the problem where I had this big blob over here trying to take out that Hero of Sparta as quick as I can. Now I'm trying to disperse all those men, so I don't get them all blobbed up on one unit. My Celtic youths did not rout. They didn't rout for some amount of time, which keeps these Hippeis Lancers and these Celtic Warriors tied down. Here you can see my mercenary Germanic Scout Riders are just riding off a bit. I'm trying to find a good spot where I can charge these guys in, because these guys are very late missile cavalry, so they're not going to be as useful as melee cav. However, I still can find some use for them. However, I gotta say, in part to the fact that his troops are still only tired or exhausted. Not exhausted, regular tired. We're winded, and my troops are very tired of the fact that they had a tough time fighting that army. So now I'm definitely going to lose some part of my advantage from that. I get one of his Celtic Warriors to rout. Another Celtic Warrior starts to rout. I charge in my Oathsworn. And I really wasn't sure how my Oathsworn was going to do. Jeez, guys, I'm sorry. He pulls his Levy Freeman out because he's trying to get a back charge in my Mercenary Germanic Scout Riders, which is a very good idea on his part. And I chase in turn with my Levy Freeman. Over here you can see that some of my, I do pop Fighting Spirits. My units don't rout because some of them are starting to drop a bit on the morale. I decided I want my Fierce Swords to charge in first. I decided that, you know what, there's no reason, because my Naked Swords are going to need that charge advantage. I didn't want to charge in that Massilian Hoplite. I wanted to charge on the side of these Axe Warriors over here. And this battle was a very close one, because, and I really got to say, it came down to, if I had maybe my units weren't as exhausted as they were, and maybe if I brought around some of these other units around the side, then I definitely think I could have won this, but still, a lot of these units still weren't hurt much at all. Yeah, I let one of my units of Fierce Swords, they were kind of blobbed up on this, and it really could have helped if they came around on the flanks. Now I pull one of my Levy Freeman back so I can get him to get that charge bonus. And yeah, this Levy Freeman has 155 kills. I gotta say, Axe Warriors are really good units, guys. Do not underestimate Axe Warriors. And there's a lot of times where units started routing, but they didn't. Well, they started wavering, but they didn't fully rout, and these Levy Freemen did come back into the field, which is something I noticed and I was very afraid of, because I really could not divert any of my forces to fight him. My Oathsworn, I popped Headhunt, because I really just need to kill him as quickly as I could, and now at this point, now I'm just done. Most of my units are either very tired or exhausted. And at this point, I know I've more or less lost the match. It was pretty close, and it was a fun game to play. And me and Armenian King, or me and Mr. Warlord? It was me and Armenian King. Did another match where I played as a Gate testing a build my friend Subodai sent me. And I think the Armenian King was playing as Macedon. And I think the build he sent me was pretty good, and I like it. And I think Macedon may just not be the factions that you do this against. I don't know, I'll upload that game later. I did save it. And Fierce Swords. My favorite units in the game. And the Nervii definitely in my top 3 favorite factions. They've always have been. I've always loved playing as a Nervii ever since they came out. And I gotta say, of all the Gauls, even in just regular history, the Nervii are probably my favorite. Because while the Nervii and their Belgae allies managed to almost completely defeat 8 Roman legions by themselves. So that's quite an accomplishment. And now I'm just going to fast forward for the rest of this battle because, well, you just know what's going to happen. My units are just going to get wrapped up. Alright. Jesus Christ. So if you look at it for me, my Celtic units didn't do as good as I wanted them to. However, the targets they did get, which was some cavalry and pikemen, were good choices. Mercenary Germanic Scouters didn't do much. However, they were getting Tarentine Cav, and they were getting some damage to them. Because sometimes, yeah, a unit may not get many kills. However, they definitely cause some damage. 243 kills on my O-Swarm, pretty good. My horse did good. All of my fierce swords, except that one as much, got over in excess of 150 kills. Some of them almost got 200. Like, fierce swords are good units, guys. They are awesome. And let's look at Chaataikhan. One of his Celtiberian Cav did good. Another one did okay. His Balearic Slingers didn't get as many kills as they really should have spent on one. I think Scutari... he had one Scutari. I think more Scutari... and maybe having one or two painted swords would have been better, because Scutari are better on the defense. I really don't know why he brought one Iberian swordsman, because the javelins can be useful, but you're definitely going to need like one on each flank. I guess having one could work. The Armenian king, he got a lot of kills with Massilian Hoplites, and really all of his units. That Hippaeus Lancer definitely made up for its price. And as you can see, some of his Spartan units... that Royal Spartan got a lot of kills. That Hero Spartan got a lot of kills. Many of his other units didn't get that many. His Tarentine guy got a decent amount. 43 kills on there, but 3 of his Spartan youths got 0 kills. And the other one got 7. Having units to block charges are good. However, you definitely, at the very least, don't want them to get 0 kills. And you definitely don't want them taking up 4 slots. Having 2 Spartan youths spread out completely and have them block the charge and then maybe do a counter charge, that definitely I would agree with that completely. And the Periocoi pikemen really didn't do much. I'm not going to say this. I like the builds from everyone. Chaataikhan's maybe just replaced the Spain Warriors with Scutari. I liked the Armenian King's build, and I'm actually going to probably use this Massilian build for myself. The Spartan build I definitely think could work. Maybe replace those Gorger skirmishers and maybe drop the Periocoi pikemen or the Tarentine Cav and maybe get some Cretians or Helot archers or even Periocoi peltas would be better. Because if you're going to bring skirmishers, you're going to want them to fulfill a purpose. So guys, that's going to be all for this video. I'll catch you all later. Peace!